Good to see you.
We'll come together for this regular meeting on Wednesday, September 18, 2024, and we'll have a call to order. Roll call.
Commissioner Lloyd,
Present.
Commissioner Winfrey,
Here.
Commissioner Ellenberg, Commissioner Brown. Here. Commissioner Avery,
Here.
Commissioner Shoemaker,
Present.
Commissioner Kuzno. Here. Commissioner Wayhill,
Here.
Commissioner Davis.
Thank you. I will now be led with our invocation for our commissioners.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. If you'd bow your heads, please. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for bringing us all here safely. We thank you for the ability to represent our community. Lord, we look to you for guidance, not just as a board, not just as community leaders. We look for your guidance for our residents, for those even at the lowest level who feel like they don't have a voice. We pray that they would feel your presence and know your glory and know that we as a county board are working for them. Lord, I ask that you would guide us tonight as we go over this agenda, make sure we make decisions that are just and right and best for our constituents. Lord, we ask all this in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Next, we move the approval. We'll have a consent of the minutes from August 21st and August 20th.
Report.
Get moved and supported. Any questions or discussions? All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Next, we bring an opportunity for a public address. If you come forward with public address, you will have a couple minutes here and then state your residence and your name.
Hi, my name is Cody Lejeski. I'm from District 3. I've come up here a lot, and I've kind of let my tempers flare, and I've preached accountability from the governor's office all the way down, and today I'm here to do that for myself as well. All of you have deserved much more respect than I've shown you, and I'm sorry. Thank you for everything that you do. I really do appreciate it. Commissioner Avery, I appreciate the phone call. You took time to level with me and address my concerns while also explaining to me where I was wrong, and that is what strong leaders do. Thank you. I appreciate that. Commissioner Lloyd, you were trying to eat your dinner, and I interrupted you because you got to a meeting early, and you still gave me your time. Thank you. Commissioners Kuzno and Wayhill, you've gone, Wayhill a couple times, gone out of your way now to give me information. Kuzno, you've been very kind. I mean, the lady that came up here and talked about my concerns, that was from your district. You came and immediately addressed it as soon as she was done speaking and the meeting was over, so thank you. And I just wanted to say that, you know, before I got started here today, I do appreciate everything that you have done and for the patience with me and for working with me as well. The reason I'm here today is because I realized that I've come here and I have only ever brought problems. So today I decided that I would try to present a solution to the problem. A lot of people my age specifically feel lost in the political landscape. We don't necessarily know how these meetings and everything function, while at the same time, we don't really have a place where we can go to learn. There's not an open public debate that is accessible at a time where we know it is, that is run by the people. Then that's what we need. Our country is so divided on so many issues, and it's because we don't meet each other where we are and see each other's face and have these conversations. They're hard conversations, but they're conversations that you have to have all of the time so that they're not so hard to have. It shouldn't have gotten to the point where our country is so divided that we are labeling candidates for president as evil on both sides, when in all reality, it's not evil to have a different vision than somebody else. You have to be able to articulate your vision and to discuss it with the people around you so that the people of the United States can have a collective vision moving forward. And so, like I was talking to Commissioners Wayhill and Kuzno, I really think that either finding a day and time logistically that works for the people in the community to come and use this auditorium, or if you could just help me and provide me information of places where I can go to participate in an event similar to that, that's the only reason that I'm here, because obviously it's not your job to give me the answers that I'm seeking or the questions, but the state level is not responsive. I finally got an email after 6 months of calling, and I mean, you know, I've been here, I've been talking about it. It's been the entire 6 months I've been calling, and the email says, that's a federal issue. Well, you heard all of the questions that I had. They weren't federal issues. It was, what are we doing in our state with state funding? And it just got passed off. And I think if the people had a place where they could discuss these issues and then organize and come together and ask the appropriate people these questions, it would be a lot easier on everybody from the local level all the way up to the federal government. And so if you have any information, if you're willing to work with me to create something like that, then just please take a few minutes and come talk to me with anything. If you want, I can give you all my phone number or any, you know, email, whatever. Just, I'm here seeking information on how to open up the community for everybody and bring younger people into it, so that way we can move forward and not be so divided our entire lives, because that's not what we need in this country. So, thank you.
Thank you. Yes, we have a correspondence.
Through you to the gentleman, thank you for your comments. I do remember you, and I remember sitting here with you after one of the meetings trying to get some information. I would ask that the gentleman give Mr. Freeman his contact information, and that just email all of us, so if we think of something, we have the ability to send him something. I'm thinking about Mott College, where I work full-time, and how we've always got some public event that may not be a debating society, but there are opportunities on our campus to learn more about public affairs and public policy. Many times those are open to the general community in addition to our students. So I'd be happy to share things as I see them.
Appreciate that, Commissioner. And he has my contact information, so thank you, Cody, appreciate it. Okay, so now we'll move forward with our communications. I believe we have the Genesee District Library. Mr. Conklin, is he? Yeah, please come forward.
Mr. Chair, Commissioners, thank you for having me. Once a year, I come before this board and the Grand Blanc Township Board, as you are the founding boards that formed the district library back in 1980. I usually give a report on the progress of our strategic plan. Today, I've got a 7-minute video that we put together, and instead of having to listen to me drone on, I'd be happy to play that video. If you have any questions at all after the video, I'm happy to answer them. I also provided you with some information that you can look at, along with my business card. You can contact me if you have any questions with that material as well. So, play the video.
Libraries are constantly evolving. Gone are the days of card catalogs and shushing librarians. In their stead are digitized platforms and bustling community hubs.
Well, libraries are a center point of every community because they're a great equalizer. They are open and free to everyone, no matter who you are, no matter what you want, no matter what you like, no matter what your political affiliation is. Libraries, we're here to serve you.
I have been coming to the Genesee District Library since I was 8 years old, and we had just moved to the area. My mom and I came in here because it was a place that felt comfortable, like it was a place where we could go where we didn't have to spend any money, and I remember actually coming down into this basement, and they were offering a French class, and I started learning French at 8, and some of these kids ended up being in my class at school, and they became some of my lifelong friends, and ever since that very first class, I have been a patron of this library, coming here. One of my daughters even wants to work here. So the enrichment that the library has brought me has just kept going over the years. It's like it snowballs and it changes with me as it goes. There's so many times when this library particularly has been a keystone in my life. But then as an adult, I started bringing my own children here. And the classes that they offer have always seemed like they were right on track with my girls. Having that love for the library has made us better readers, brought us closer to each other, and it's brought us to our community because we've met so many people here. So the library has enriched my whole family's life since we moved to Fenton.
Libraries today meet the needs of people at every stage of life. job seekers, new parents, children, students, empty nesters, homemakers, entrepreneurs, hobbyists, retirees, the homebound. Libraries offer free access to a wealth of both physical and digital items to educate, inform, and entertain.
The Monterey Public Library is a community hub. We offer a lot of programming for people covering a wide variety of ages. We have book clubs, we have Girls Who Code programs. Recently we did a history of the Kellogg Company. So anybody around the county could zoom into that and watch and listen and ask questions. The Monterey Public Library is about connecting people to people. We really try to enrich people's lives through these different types of offerings.
Libraries have one foot in the future, one foot in the past. We've got patrons that want us to be quiet reading spaces with books for them to choose from. And we've got people that want access to the internet. They want to have space to meet with their HOA groups. We've got podcasting booths, maybe a few less books, and a lot more spaces for people to meet, use their technology, and maybe be introduced to technology that they didn't know was out there.
This library has always been catering to the latest technologies. Like my kids have taken a 3D printing class here. And I brought my Girl Scout troop here as Learning for Girls to Code. The head librarian, Chris Herron, led it. And I always look to the library catalog to see kind of what's up and coming. What might my kids experience at school that I can be a part of here? And so they've done a really good job at modernizing books and the facilities here.
In Michigan, the Genesee District Library is bringing its communities together through meaningful experiences and a wide variety of programs. Patrons can connect, learn, and grow with programs like 3D printing, yoga, technology, cooking, gardening, literacy, fitness, and concerts.
The Genesee District Library is a 19-branch library system in Genesee County, and some of our buildings have been able to incorporate different areas for technology, like we have a retro media station, but some of our branches are smaller, and they're in redefined spaces, like our Gaines branch is in a Gaines train depot, the Linden branch is in the Linden Old Mill, and our branch here in Fenton is in a former post office. I've been a librarian for 30 years and been involved in a lot of different programs, children's programming, magicians, and that kind of thing, to what we've done recently with our seed library. We reach out to like 8 different organizations and they donate seeds to us. We repackage them into smaller offerings and people are able to check them out for free. Another kind of fun thing that we've done recently is we host trivia night, and that's virtual. So people Zoom in and answer trivia questions, and we call it Are You Smarter Than a Librarian?
The Genesee District Library takes great pride in that we listen to our community through their feedback, through surveys, through feedback programs that we've already had, and we also have our frontline staff that are in touch with our patrons every day. They may have a special interest in a particular topic and they may do programming, and those are usually the most successful programs.
The programming here in the library is always spot on, especially when it comes to the children's programming, because by following the trends of what's happening, they're able to anticipate what kids want to see. So I think that the Genesee District Library really pays attention to trends, technology, and what's going on in the world, especially when it comes to like news and information. This is a really bipartisan way to find out information in your community. You've got community representatives, and they bring them in. It gets the information out, and in that way, the programming is really adapted to the community and to its patrons.
Whether you want to visit in person and connect with your community, or access digital items from the comfort of home, you can enjoy over 13 million items, including ebooks, audiobooks, movies, television, music, magazines, comics, and graphic novels available for your convenience 24/7.
We offer quite a bit in our way to assess the digital divide between our traditional kind of e-streaming offerings of Libby and Hoopla. We also have Retro Media Station where people can transfer their old formats into digital formats, and we also have a sanitizing and charging station where people can clean their phones and charge their iPads.
Genesee District Library has a strong relationship with our municipal partners throughout the county, and we work with them hard to make sure that we not only provide our regular shelving and traditional access to books, but also access to technology, the internet, different spaces like podcasting booths and the like. I've been in libraries for 34 years, and the librarian's dream is not any different now than it was then. And that's to have something on the shelf that every person who comes in the library wants, something on the shelf that they need, and something that they discover in the library, and they're so glad they did.
People's needs change. Libraries change to meet them. For more information, visit thegdl.org.
Thank you for your time. If you have any questions, I'm available. I'm available now if you have any.
Commissioners, any questions or? Commissioner Lloyd?
No question. Excellent video. Awesome to see a lot of awesome things taking place at the library, and also excellent to know that there is a new library, right? This is a separate library group.
Yes, the Genesee.
Okay, well, tell me something, teach me something. Okay, in the future, as far as your report, feel free to also let our office know as well. We'll put you on the agenda and actually give you a block of time so you don't, it's not rushed and that kind of thing. So just wanted to extend that to you as well. But thank you for coming tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Commissioner.
I just want to applaud Mr. Conklin for all of the marvelous programs that you have at the Genesee District Library. I'm a user of the library, and I appreciate the wealth of resources that you all have. But I didn't know you did yoga and cooking and some of those other things, so that just blows my mind. And I also want to put in a plug for the Black History Month program that you guys do every year. I know it wasn't featured in the video, but I know you're in the process of taking nominations right now.
Yes.
And so I want to applaud you. I attended last year. It was just a phenomenal event with a wonderful keynote. It added lots of value to our community, so thank you.
Yeah, Nikki Giovanni was great, so. Yeah, we're in the planning stages for the next one, so we don't have all the details worked out, but we hope it'll be just as good. Thank you, Dr. Brown.
Yeah, Commissioner.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through you to the director, I'll ask in public what I asked you when you were sitting out there waiting to present before we started. Our most direct role, I think, with the GDL is appointing your trustees, your board members. And I know that we've done one of those since I've been on in the past year and a half, and it was Julie Steffi out of Fenton. And I think it was unanimous, maybe it wasn't, but she was supported by the majority. Can you tell us how she's doing as a board member?
She's doing fantastic. She's engaged. She's an educator. She really gets it. She's comfortable on the board because she's had experience on boards. She's been a fantastic board member, so we really do appreciate her appointment.
Okay, and you presently don't have any vacancies, I take it?
We do have one vacancy.
You do, okay. Do we know about that?
Yes. Yeah.
Our side?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good to know. All right, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
I didn't know if he's going to say something negative about the board member. Yeah.
Well, it is one of his bosses, you never know.
All right, thank you, Ms. Cow. Any other questions? Or thank you, appreciate your presentation. And next we have
Yeah,
Mr.
Mr.
Freeman.
Chairman, we have a special presentation from Pam Coleman, our director over at G-Card.
Good evening, Chair, Commissioners. First, I'd like to thank you all for allowing me this space and the opportunity to use this platform to highlight a community that is waning a little bit. It's across the nation. We're being affected by a loss of volunteers. And I would like to take the opportunity to highlight one of our volunteers. I was informed earlier this year in regards to an opportunity to recognize a volunteer through the Pepe Rosenthal Award that is available through the Community Foundation. And I'd like, if I may, to read the submission. Genesee County Community Action Resource Department is pleased to nominate Alina Hayek for the Pepe Rosenthal Award. Alina began volunteering with G-Card's Nutritious Service Program in early November 2020. Alina, along with a classmate, was seeking an opportunity to meet academic requirements for a degree program in human medicine at Michigan State University. and reached out to G-Card for availability. In normal conditions, it can be difficult to recruit volunteers. However, when Alina joined our team as a volunteer, it was during one of the most challenging times that many will ever encounter, a time that brought change to our lives in epic proportion, and this era was the COVID-19 pandemic. While most, understandably, sheltered in place for their health, safety, and well-being, Alina chose to dedicate her time assisting our most vulnerable population of Genesee County, our seniors. Alina did not need anyone to tell her where the needs were. She sought them out and responded in kind. Alina received her volunteer hours by delivering meals and went on to complete her degree. Alina shared that she felt so rewarded by the experience. It motivated her to return in 2023 to deliver over 4,500 meals to homebound seniors and assisting in the kitchen with preparation of meals prior to delivery when needed. Alina performed this altruistic service using her own vehicle and gas. Her efforts made a huge impact on the lives of those she touched. Alina is truly considered an unsung hero in our department due to her contributions to Genesee County. To say that we appreciate Alina's dedication and hard work would not begin to scratch the surface of our gratitude, nor can words accurately describe how much we treasure all that Alina has given to this program. Alina embodied the spirit and mission of the Genesee County Community Action Resource Department through selfless acts of kindness and compassion, and therefore, G-Card would like to nominate Alina Hayak for the Pepe Rosenthal Award. And with our submission, we were able to secure Alina's nomination and winning of that award. And Ms. Davis is going to read off her plaque. Alina, if you would come up.
Good evening, Commissioners and Alina. I would just like to say on behalf of G-Card and the Genesee County, we would like to present to you this evening the G-Card Volunteer of the Year Award for 2023. We truly thank you for your dedicated service towards our mission, which is to break the cycle of poverty. You don't know how much you contributed to our efforts, so we thank you. Thank you so much. Dr. Alina Hayek.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Right.
Mr. Chair. Alina?
Yes, you have a couple.
Could you
Wait,
wait a second?
Ms. Davis, would you have her come forward? So we have a couple questions. We might want to have some
Well, it's no question.
correspondence. I'm sorry.
But in 2020, did she leave? There she is. Okay, I'm sorry. I was looking at the door. Back in 2020, at the height of when the pandemic started, I was the chair of this board at that point in time, and it was a very confusing time. We didn't know what was hitting us, and there was no playbook for us on how to proceed. We were just, through the emergency management and stuff, we're just doing whatever we could do. But I was always amazed at the volunteers that went out at risk and delivered those meals, not really knowing what the risk was at that point in time. And I have to commend you and many others, but thank you. Thank you very much.
I was in medical school in my second year, and I grew up in the area too, so come and serve the community in multiple ways. I got to work at Hurley last year as my first year as a doctor, so it's been amazing, and I hope to.
So if you don't mind, we're going to take a pause for this cause, and we're going to have a group photo with you with commissioners, if you guys wouldn't mind. Our photographer, heads of communications, Mr. Jared Fields, coming down now. We'll just take a couple minutes to have a group photo with you in recognition of this great act on your part. Okay, you're welcome. As soon as he arrives. He's coming.
Did you want us to come up there, or
How would you guys like? Do you want her to come up?
maybe
or?
with the seal
Yeah,
behind it?
want to come up? Okay, yeah, we'll form here. Yeah, here, there he is, right on time here, okay. Okay. Oh, yes. Ms. Coleman and Ms. Davis, please. I think you have a little bit to do with this here. All right, we're trying to exclude any means. Thank you, commissioners, for that. I think that was definitely worth that cause. Okay, we'll go ahead and resume. We'll now go into our Community and Economic Development with Dr. Beverly Brown as chairperson, Elway Hill vice chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to move Resolution 2024-989, approval of an agreement between Genesee County and the Michigan Department of Transportation in the amount of $50,000 to provide for the rideshare program for fiscal year 2025.
Okay, it's been moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
I move 2024-1006, approval of a purchase order to Genesee County Land Bank for the fiscal year ending 2025 in an amount not to exceed $800,000 to provide for property acquisition costs during fiscal year 2025.
Okay, it's been moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
I move 2024-1009, approval of a proposed amendment to the 2023-24 appropriations resolution allowing for the Flushing Township CDBG transfer of $10,000 from account 234704, blah, blah, blah. The budget adjustment allows for change in projects.
Okay, are there any questions?
Which account was that?
Mr. Chair.
How's that?
Blah, blah, blah.
Commissioner Whale.
Yeah, I'll just say I'll reiterate what I said at committee last week. I have been in touch with Supervisor Thorsby in Flushing Township and a couple of others out there, and they are supportive of this transfer.
Thank you for that. Any others? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
I move Resolution 2024-1014, approval of a request by Genesee County's Planning Commission to reallocate $7,353 of Emergency Solutions Grant funding to G-Card, $3,676.50, and Catholic Charities, $3,676.50 for homeless prevention activities.
So moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor? I'm sorry,
I do.
Commissioner Lloyd.
Maybe for a future meeting, I'd like to, like the various county departments who are engaged in homeless prevention work, understand what strategy will be going into the winter months for our homeless population. I'd like to have a better understanding of what type of support, funding, services that we offer overall as a county for that population. Don't want to wait until it gets cold to really start thinking about that. It'd be great to have a plan as we go into the winter months as to how we can serve those residents. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
I move Resolution 2024-1036, approval of a purchase order to various approved contractors for the fiscal year ending 2025 in an amount not to exceed $1,446,342.97 to provide for Genesee County's home improvement and urgent repair program. The cost of the purchase order will be paid from the accounts listed.
Support.
Been moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Is there any report from the committee?
I'd like to just give one report about our broadband initiative and let people know that we did have a community partners meeting last week at the Genesee Intermediate School District where we had people participate virtually as well as in person. And one of the things that we provided to all of the participants were these little cards with a QR code on the back that allows for every resident, businesses in Genesee County to take a 5-minute survey by scanning this QR code, and it will help us to build the next generation of broadband in Genesee County. So I believe an email has been sent out by our communications director, and these cards are available around the community. If you'd like more information about it, feel free to contact me, but there's more, the more surveys we get completed, the better, and so we encourage you to take it. It's just 5 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Brown. Okay, next we move to our Finance Committee, where we have Martin Cousineau as chairperson and Dr. Beverly Brown as vice chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move Resolution 24-819, approval of an agreement between Genesee County and Fetch EH in an amount not to exceed $31,500 to provide for the purchase of environmental health software. The cost of this agreement will be paid from the following account.
It's been moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
Move Resolution 24-828, approval of a purchase order to SHI Incorporated in an amount not to exceed $52,100 to provide for multi-factor authentication software. The cost of this purchase is from the following accounts.
It's been moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Move Resolution 24-870, approval of a request by Genesee County's treasurer to approve Grand Blanc Marketplace LLC to utilize PACE financing for the redevelopment of the former Grand Blanc Kmart property.
It's been moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
I move Resolution 24-882, approval of a self-insured auto trust agreement and memorandum of understanding.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Move Resolution 24-891, forwarding to receive and file a copy of the paid county bills for the weeks ending 7/14/24, 7/21/24, 8/28/24, and 8/4/24.
Support.
A total amount of $14,900,000.
So moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Move Resolution 24-902, approval of a request to create, post, and fill one GIS specialist position and eliminate one GIS technician position at Genesee County's GIS department.
Okay, they're moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
I move Resolution 24-961, approval of a purchase order to Headset Advisory for the fiscal year ending in 2024 in an amount not to exceed $112,984 to provide for the purchase of headsets. The cost of this purchase will be paid from ARPA funding.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
Move Resolution 24-962, approval of a proposed amendment to the 23-24 appropriations resolution reallocating expenditures within the community corrections budget as described in the attached memo.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
Move Resolution 24-979, forwarding to receive and file a copy of the 2022 foreclosure sales report as required by MCL, whatever.
It's been moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
Move Resolution 24-996, approval of a purchase order to multiple vendors for the fiscal year ending in 2025 in an amount not to exceed $157,000 to provide for the purchase of medical supplies at Genesee County's Health Department. The cost of this purchase is paid from the following accounts.
It's been moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Move Resolution 24-997, approval of a purchase order to multiple vendors for the fiscal year ending 2025 in amount not to exceed $245,000 to provide for the drug and pharmaceutical purchases of Genesee County's Health Department.
It's been moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Move Resolution 24-1012, approval of proposed budget amendment to the 23-24 appropriations resolution for various line items as described in the attached budget adjustment request.
It's been moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
Move Resolution 24-1015, approval of a purchase order to Gordon's Food Service for the fiscal year ending 2025 in an amount not to exceed $1,255,244.20 to provide for the purchase of food and cleaning supplies for Genesee County's Nutrition Services Program and Head Start Program. It would be paid from the following accounts.
Been moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
I move Resolution 24-1016, approval of a purchase order to Oliver Packaging for the fiscal year ending 2025 in amount not to exceed $75,000 to provide for the purchase of food packaging supplies for Genesee County's Nutrition Services Program and Head Start Program. The cost of this is paid from the following accounts.
It's been moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
I move Resolution 24-1018, approval of a purchase order to Abbott Laboratories for the fiscal year ending 2025 in amount not to exceed $147,000 to provide for the purchase of Ensure Shakes for Genesee County's Nutrition Services Program. The cost of this purchase order will be paid from the accounts.
To move and support it. Any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
Move Resolution 24-1019, approval of a purchase order to U.S. Foods for the fiscal year ending 2025 in an amount not to exceed $199,083.87 to provide for the purchase of food and supplies for Genesee County's Nutrition Services Program and Head Start Program. The cost of this purchase is paid from the following accounts.
Okay, it's been moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
I move Resolution 24-1020, approval of a purchase order to Flint Jewish Federation for the fiscal year ending 2025 in amount not to exceed $50,000 to provide kosher meals for Genesee County's Nutrition Services Program. The cost of this is paid from the following account.
Okay, it's been moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
Move Resolution 24-1021, approval of purchase order to Genesee Packaging Incorporated for the fiscal year ending 2025 in amount not to exceed $44,000 to provide for the purchase of packaging supplies for Genesee County Supplemental Food Program. The cost of this purchase order is paid from the accounts.
It's been moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
Move Resolution 24-1025, approval of proposed budget amendment to the 24-25 appropriations resolution for various line items as described in the attached budget adjustment request.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
Move Resolution 24-1027, approval of purchase order to Aramac for the fiscal year ending in 2025 in amount not to exceed $880,000 to provide for the annual food and commissionary services to the inmates housed at the Genesee County Jail. The cost of this purchase order is paid from the following account.
Okay, it's been moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
Move Resolution 24-1028, approval of purchase order to Satellite Tracking of People LLC for the fiscal year ending 2025 in an amount not to exceed $275,000 to provide for tether monitoring and equipment. The cost of this purchase order will be paid from the account.
It's been moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
Move Resolution 24-1029, approval of a purchase order to Advance Correctional Health Care for the fiscal year ending 2025 in an amount not to exceed $4,100,888 to provide health care services for the inmates housed in Genesee County Jail. The cost of this purchase order is paid from the accounts listed.
It's been moved and supported. Any questions?
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Just want to thank Mr. Freeman for following up with the Sheriff's Department. I believe it was this resolution and the one preceding this where we asked some questions and we didn't have the answers in the moment, but they have since supplied those and it was very informative, so thank you.
Thank you.
I move Resolution 24-1030, approval of a purchase order to Bunzee Distribution Incorporated for the fiscal year ending 2025 in an amount not to exceed $60,000 to provide for the purchase of janitorial and related supplies to be used within the Genesee County Jail. This is cost is paid from.
Okay. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. And before you continue, Commissioner Kuzma, I think we have to go back to the previous one. We had it open still for approval. We had a question by Commissioner Wayhill. So all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Motion passes.
I'll talk to Wayhill about getting me out of order. And I hope I pronounce Bunzee close enough that the check is written. I move Resolution 2024-1031, approval of purchase order to Boundtree Medical for the fiscal year ending 2025 in an amount of $100,000 to provide for the purchase of medical supplies. The cost of this purchase order will be paid from the accounts listed.
Support.
Been moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Is there any report from the committee?
No, I've said enough.
Thank you, Commissioner. Wait, Kuzma. Okay, next we'll move on to our governmental operations. So we have Dale Wayhill as chairperson and Dorico Lloyd as vice chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move Resolution 2024-632, approval of a contract between Genesee County and Bendel Public Schools in the amount of $156,863 to provide for one school resource officer. The term of the contract is September 1st, 2024 through August 31st, 2025.
Been moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
I move Resolution -2024-777, approval of an agreement between Genesee County and Fiddler Technologies in an amount not to exceed $689,600 to provide for records management software in the Office of the Clerk Register. The term of this agreement is October 1st, 2024 through September 30th, 2027. The cost of this agreement will be paid from the accounts listed.
Support.
Been moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
I move Resolution -2024-936, approval of a purchase order to Stryker Medical for the fiscal year ending 2025 in the amount not to exceed a collective total of $129,711.24.
Support.
Okay, it's been moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
I move Resolution -2024-942, approval of a grant award from the Office of Highway Safety Planning in the amount of $869,430 to provide for Genesee County's secondary road patrol program. The budget for this grant is attached.
Okay, been moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
I move Resolution -2024-951, approval of a purchase order to Covetrus North America for the fiscal year ending 2025 in an amount not to exceed $95,000 to provide for medical supplies at Genesee County's Animal Control. The cost of this purchase order will be paid from the account listed.
Support.
Okay, it's been moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
I move Resolution -2024-952, approval of a grant award from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services in the amount of $276,368 to provide for the prosecution of violence against women and law enforcement projects targeting violence against women. There is a 25% match requirement. The budget for this grant is attached.
Okay, it's been moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
I move Resolution -2024-953, approval of a purchase order to Zotis for the fiscal year ending 2025 in an amount not to exceed $45,000 to provide required vaccine supplies. The cost of this purchase order will be paid from the following account.
Been moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
I move Resolution -2024-954, approval of a purchase order to IDEX for the fiscal year ending 2025 in an amount not to exceed $45,000 to provide testing supplies and laboratory services at Genesee County's Animal Control. The cost of this purchase order will be paid from the account listed.
Okay, it's been moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
I move Resolution -2024-957, approval of a grant award from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services in the amount of $408,296 to provide for the 2025 Crime Victim Services at Genesee County's Prosecutor's Office. The budget for this grant is attached.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
I move Resolution -2024-971, approval of a request by Genesee County's prosecutor to self-fund liability and workers' compensation insurance for the Special Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Generals.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Any questions?
I have a question
Sure,
through you, Mr.
Commissioner
Chair, to
Levin.
Mr.
Yes.
Potberry. Thank you for being here tonight. I'm curious as to the type of liability insurance that you're looking to self-fund.
This is to self-fund, the county would self-fund on workers' comp and liability claims by our special assistant attorney generals that are provided for by the Attorney General's office. Because that contract between what we call the SAGs, between the SAGs and the AG's office does not come with insurance. And so this is something we've been doing ever since the start of this program for the last 5 or 6 years.
Okay, thank you for the information about the amount of years that you've been doing it. So is this professional liability or is it like personal liability?
It would be liability for workers' comp. Could be somebody slipping in a hallway, in a parking lot, for workers' comp, because frankly, the lawyers aren't doing a lot of high-risk work, but it could be an accident. And if there was a claim made, then this agreement would be for the county to fund any costs associated with any injuries.
Okay.
Or liability. We don't really have too many claims on that, if any.
Okay, so appreciate the information. So the workers' comp, I understand. The liability insurance, because I understand you have, if something happens or whatever the case may be, and then somebody decides to sue one of the attorneys, right? But they're suing them for their professional work. They were operating appropriately, professionally, and so on and so forth.
Yes.
But they get sued. So that's the professional liability that I'm talking about.
Yes.
But then the flip side of that is if maybe they're negligent in their responsibilities and then they're sued. So that's a different type of liability where a person is suing them directly as an individual potentially for their work. What I want to understand is if this liability insurance covers both sides of that, or if it just covers, hey, they sued them because they didn't like the job they did as an attorney, but they did it unprofessionally. You
Well,
understand
it
what
would
I'm
only
saying?
be for any work that they're performing, carrying out their duties, excuse me, as lawyers in our office.
Okay, I'm clear. Thank you. Because I know just the context a little more, because I know that there are attorneys and prosecutors' offices where not only do you have a professional liability, but then there's also personal liability that the attorneys pay for themselves out of their pocket, just in case they're sued for potentially doing something or handling a case in a way that's not most appropriate. I just wanted to make sure we weren't self-funding the personal side of that, but I'm clear. Thank you.
Only carrying out the duties as special assistant attorney generals in our office.
Sure, I'm clear. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Anyone
regarding
else?
that?
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
I move Resolution -2024-999, approval of an agreement between Genesee County and Kevin Rush in an amount not to exceed $56,000 to provide for the coordination and delivery of weekend arraignments. The term of this agreement is from October 1st, 2024 through September 30th, 2025. The cost of this agreement will be paid from the following account.
Report.
Okay, it's been moved and supported. Any questions?
Mr. Chair, I would just point out that staff did make the change. I believe it last week when we did this, it said weekday, and now it's been corrected to weekend. So thank you.
Okay, thank you for that correction. Any questions? All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
I move Resolution -2024-1000, approval of an agreement between Genesee County and Philip H. Beauvais III, PC, in an amount not to exceed $156,000 to provide for the coordination and delivery of weekday arraignments, misdemeanors, and other legal services. The term of this agreement is from October 1st, 2024 through September 30th, 2025. The cost of this agreement will be paid for the following account.
Okay, it's been moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Yep. Any report?
No report tonight. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, you got 13.
Oh, I'm sorry. Resolution -2024-1056, approval of the Federal Awards Administration Policy.
Report.
Okay, it's been moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Commissioner.
I would like to report that I missed number 13. Can I do that now?
Thank you.
All right,
Appreciate
thank you,
you.
Mr. Chair.
All right, next to move on to Human Services Committee, we have Charles Winfrey as chairperson and Sean Shoemaker as vice chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move Resolution 24925, approval of a grant award from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, Local Water Utility Affordability Grant in the amount of $1,175,000 to provide water payment assistance to eligible Genesee County residents. The
Support.
budget is attached.
It's been moved and supported. Any questions?
I do.
Yes,
One quick
Commissioner
question
Lloyd.
Through you, Mr. Chair, to the director there. What is the eligibility criteria, and how can residents sign up to be considered for this assistance? We know that water bills, particularly in Flint, are still extremely, extremely high. And I don't know what they're doing with shut-off notices at this point, but I know that there are a number of my constituents still in need of and would appreciate a lot of assistance. So what is the criteria, and how can residents apply?
Through the chair to Commissioner
Yes.
Lloyd. The criteria is set by the state. There is an income requirement based on the number of persons in the household. Can't tell you what they are right off the top of my head. However, we are working with Mr. Freeman to get flyers out into the community so that everyone is made aware come October 1. When these dollars are made available from the state, we want all of the municipalities to be aware that the dollars are out there for anyone who is qualifying for assistance.
All right, thank you. And we want to make sure that the right county seal or county logo that includes the wording County Commission, Board of Commissioners, is the logo that's included on that information that goes out. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Commissioner Kuzma.
You know, another avenue of notifying people that they might qualify for it is to have the various municipalities on their water bill. They can usually put a little notation on the bill when it goes out that there are these funds available for people that are distressed. I've done that with the city of Clio, and so that could probably be coordinated throughout the whole county so that everybody receives that, and it would be really no added expense. It would just be a matter of putting it on the monthly or quarterly bill, however the municipality sends it out.
Yes, sir.
Just an idea.
And I appreciate that. We have done that in the past with the water initiatives. However, we had not considered it for this one, but we will implement that as well.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Anyone else? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
I move Resolution 24927, approval of an agreement between Genesee County and UTJ Hold Company in an amount not to exceed $82,060 to provide curriculum kits for Genesee County's Head Start program. The cost of this agreement will be paid from the accounts listed.
So moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
I move Resolution 24980, approval of an agreement between Genesee County's Community Action Resource Department and Genesee County's Metropolitan Planning Commission in the amount of $23,401 to provide housing assistance for eligible Genesee County residents.
Support.
So moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
I move Resolution 24981, approval of a grant award from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services in the amount of $1,001,077 to provide funding for Genesee County's Nutrition Services Program and Neighborhood Service Center.
Support.
So moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
I move Resolution 24982, approval of grant award from Michigan Department of Health and Human Services in the amount of $1,251,347 to provide funding for Genesee County's Nutrition Services Program and Neighborhood Service Center.
Support.
So moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
I move Resolution 24983, approval of an agreement between Genesee County and Jillian Cotabato in an amount not to exceed $115,000 to provide nurse practitioner services at Genesee County's Health Department. The cost of this agreement will be paid from the following accounts.
Support.
So moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
I move Resolution 241003, approval of an agreement between Genesee County and the Mass Transportation Authority in an amount not to exceed $160,000 to provide Genesee County's Vets to Wellness Program. The cost of this agreement will be paid from the following accounts.
Support.
So moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
I move Resolution 241048, approval of Genesee County's annual payments to area hospitals for uncompensated care. Total payments not to exceed $1.5 million. Cost of these payments will come from Genesee County's uninsured health services millage.
Support.
So moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Is there any report from the committee?
No report.
Okay. Next, we have our Public Works Committee. We have Ellen Elberg as chairperson, Michelle Davis as vice chair. In their absence, I will bring that forward. Resolution 628, approval of an agreement between Genesee County and 13 Verticals in an amount not to exceed $35,280 to provide consulting services related to on-base. The cost of this agreement will be paid from the following account. Okay, it's been moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Resolution 896, approval of a request to increase a purchase order to various vendors for the fiscal year ending 2024 in an amount not to exceed $15,000 to provide for the purchase of tires in Genesee County's motor pool. The cost of this request will be paid from the following accounts.
Support.
Okay, it's been moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Resolution 928, approval of 3 amendments to Sentinel Incorporated contract to purchase shields for security cameras at the jail, fisheye cameras for the exterior, and multiple view monitoring stations at the Genesee County Jail, Circuit Court, District Court. Okay, it's been moved and supported. Any questions?
What is the cost, or is the cost already included in the previous existing contract, and is there additional cost?
We have someone here for the,
Yep.
yes, we have, yeah.
Our CIO,
CIO,
Mike
yeah.
DeWicia, is here, and he can speak to what that additional cost is.
Some of these items are no cost, they're an adjustment. They asked us to agree to it on paper, and that's the enclosures for security. Some of them are changes. We've gone from regular cameras to fisheye cameras, so there's an adjustment in cost for that. That's one of these factors. And the other one is the multi-viewing stations. There's a cost to that. That was not accounted for when you first made the purchase, and it was something we discovered later on that we needed.
Well, what does that cost?
30,000 total-ish,
Okay,
and some change.
and it's in the resolution. I don't have a resolution in
Yep.
front of me.
For the viewing stations, licenses is $29,820, and for the fisheye lens cameras for the exterior of the jail, it's $1,757.64.
That's the additional cost. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Resolution 931, approval of an agreement between Genesee County and Microsoft Incorporated in an amount not to exceed $169,801.63 to provide for on-base software maintenance. The term of this agreement is October 1, 2024 through September 30, 2025.
Support.
Okay, it's been moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Next, Resolution 976, approval of a request by Genesee County's Drain Commissioner to sell a parcel at 7143 Ralston Road.
Support.
Okay, been moved and supported. Any questions? Commissioner Lloyd?
First of all, I appreciate my colleagues indulging me because I wasn't in committee this past week. And, but my last question for this agenda is through you, Mr. Chair, to a representative from the Drain Commissioner's Office. What's the purpose of the sale of this property at 7143 Ralston Road, if I pronounced it right?
I'm not sure that anybody is here from the drain office, but the drain office at the Linden plant has X number of acres out there. This piece is kind of split off from that total area by a drainage ditch. So between the drainage ditch and the property owner next door, the property owner asked to purchase this property. It's a relatively small piece. I think the purchase price is about $5,000. And it was a piece of basically excess property that was no longer needed, but it is also kind of, I don't want to say landlocked, but it is kind of landlocked between the ditch from the main parcel and this person's house.
Thank you for the information.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Resolution 985, approval of purchase order to various vendors for the fiscal year ending 2025 in amount not to exceed $70,000 to provide for the purchase of tires at Genesee County's motor pool. The cost of this purchase will be from the following account.
Support.
Okay, it's been moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Resolution 1001, approval of purchase order to Wolverine Power Systems for the fiscal year ending 2024 and 2025 in amount not to exceed $108,675 to provide for the purchase of generators. The cost will be from the following account.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Next, we have Resolution 1004, approval of purchase order to Bunzell Distribution for the fiscal year ending 2025 in an amount not to exceed $49,000 to provide for janitorial supplies at various Genesee County buildings. The cost to be paid from the accounts that are listed.
Support.
Okay, it's been moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes, and I'm not sure if there was any report, but there is none today. Okay. All right, next we'll have unfinished business. Anything? Okay. Next we'll go to new and miscellaneous business, where we have Resolution 1094, and we'll turn it over to our corporate counsel.
Sure, thank you, Mr. Chair. The Open Meetings Act allows this board to go in a closed session for strategy and negotiation sessions connected with the negotiation of a collective bargaining agreement if either negotiating party requests a closed hearing. And I've been told that this board would like to go in the closed session to discuss strategy. And so we'll need 5 votes to go via roll call.
Okay, have a roll call, please.
Commissioner Lloyd?
Yes.
Oh, motion.
I'll move it.
Motion, I'm sorry. Okay, we have motion and support. Any questions? Okay, roll call.
Commissioner Lloyd?
Yes.
Commissioner Winfrey?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Avery?
Yes.
Commissioner Shoemaker?
Yes.
Commissioner Kuzma?
Yes.
Commissioner Wayhall?
Yes.
Thank you. We'll now go to closed session.